Tomorrow is your final history exam, and spring break is only one test away. But there's one major problem. You barely studied at all. Your textbook is still full of untouched chapters. Your notes look incomplete, and the clock keeps moving faster. So you make the same decision. Millions of students have made before. You pull an all-nighter. First, it feels like a smart idea. You make coffee, organize your notes, and convince yourself that one sleepless night won't matter. For a while, it actually works. Your focus feels sharp. Your motivation is high, and facts seem easier to remember. But deep inside your body, something very different is happening. Humans operate on an internal biological clock, called the circadian rhythm. This system controls when you feel awake, when you feel tired, and even how your brain performs throughout the day. Light plays a huge role in controlling it. As the sun disappears outside your window, your eyes send signals deep into the brain. A tiny region called the suprachiasmatic nucleus starts preparing your body for sleep. Soon after, your pineal gland releases melatonin, the hormone responsible for making you sleepy. At the same time, calming chemicals begin slowing down brain activity. Your heart rate slows slightly. Your body temperature starts dropping. Your brain is trying to shut down for the night, but you ignore every signal and continue studying. Hours pass. At first, the information still makes sense, but eventually your concentration begins slipping. A random shape on the page suddenly looks like a face. You reread the same sentence multiple times. Simple details become harder to process. That's because your brain has been producing a chemical called adenosine all day long. The longer you stay awake, the more adenosine builds up inside your brain. And the more it builds up, the sleepier and less focused you become. So naturally, you grab another cup of coffee. Caffeine temporarily blocks adenosine from attaching to brain receptors, making you feel alert again. But the energy boost comes with side effects. Your hands may start shaking. Your heartbeat becomes faster. Anxiety and stress increase. You may feel awake, but your brain is no longer working efficiently. Meanwhile, your brain keeps absorbing information. Names, dates, and facts are stored temporarily inside a region called the hippocampus. Normally, sleep helps transfer those memories into long-term storage. While sleeping, your brain strengthens important information and removes unnecessary details. But without sleep, that entire process becomes weaker. You might remember facts long enough to survive tomorrow's exam, but retaining them later becomes far more difficult. Around the middle of the night, your body becomes even more desperate for sleep. Your eyes burn. Your reaction time slows. Your thoughts feel heavy and unfocused. Then something strange happens. For a few seconds, your brain partially shuts down without warning. These tiny moments are called microsleeps. You may not even realize they happened, but during those few seconds, your brain briefly stops processing the world normally. You try stretching, walking around, and splashing water on your face to stay awake. But your coordination continues getting worse. Studies show that staying awake for around 19 hours can affect reaction time almost as much as being drunk. And yet somehow, you keep going. Finally, morning arrives. Sunlight enters the room, melatonin production stops, and suddenly you feel a burst of energy again. This feeling is often called a second wind. Some people even become unusually confident, emotional, or overly optimistic during severe sleep deprivation. That happens because lack of sleep temporarily changes dopamine activity inside the brain. For a short time, you may actually feel amazing until the exam begins. First, everything seems fine. The multiple-choice questions feel easy enough. You recognize names. You remember dates. Your confidence returns. Then you reach the essay section, and suddenly your brain freezes. Scientists believe sleep plays an important role in helping the brain connect ideas, recognize patterns, and solve problems creatively. Without sleep, your brain struggles to organize information properly. You remember random facts, But turning them into meaningful answers becomes difficult. Your thoughts feel disconnected. Your focus collapses. The blank page becomes terrifying. After the exam finally ends, the exhaustion hits all at once. You feel emotionally overwhelmed, irritated, and mentally drained. That's because sleep deprivation heavily affects the amygdala, the brain region involved in emotional reactions. Normally, another area called the prefrontal cortex helps keep emotions under control. But without sleep, that system becomes much weaker. Eventually, you return home and collapse onto your bed. And honestly, it feels incredible. One sleepless night usually isn't permanently dangerous. Most healthy people recover fairly quickly afterward. But repeated sleep deprivation is a completely different story. Consistently sleeping less than 7 hours has been linked to depression, memory problems, heart disease, diabetes, weakened focus, and lower academic performance. In fact, studies show students with regular sleep schedules often perform better overall than students who constantly pull all-nighters. So the next time you think about sacrificing sleep to study more, remember this: your brain doesn't become stronger without sleep. Sometimes, the smartest thing you can do for your future is simply go to bed.